First, thinking about the video I loaded in the syllabus as a civics refresher, keep in mind when you're thinking about state government, this model is replicated. The executive branch is the governor, the legislative branch is our state legislature, which convenes every 2 years, and then the judicial branch, which is composed of our courts. Now, the Board of Nursing operates as an arm of the executive branch, but its authority is regulated by the legislature through the Nurse Practice Act, which is found in the Texas Occupations Code. Yes, the Nursing Practice Act really doesn't say a lot about the practice of nursing, but does say a lot about how and what our Board of Nursing can do. These laws do allow the Board of Nursing to do what is called promulgate rules, and it's those promulgated rules that actually spell out the laws that tell us as nurses what we can and can't do. These laws are found in the Texas Administrative Code. When you're listening to the Board of Nursing jurisprudence course, pay particular attention to the 6-step decision model, as it is very useful to determine whether a patient care action falls within the scope of practice for any given nurse. One of the big responsibilities of the Board of Nursing is to issue licenses to practice. Now, licensure represents a process of credentialing and granting authority to practice a profession. There are many professions regulated by the state in order to ensure the safety of the public, such as lawyers, architects, physicians, accountants, barbers, and hairdressers are all regulated by their respective boards. Now, moving on, you will also do some readings on our system of courts in the U.S. Guido does a good job of reviewing how these courts work, about their jurisdiction, and how litigation can flow through the courts. Please remember that nursing is not regulated at the federal level, so it's highly unlikely that a nurse would be in federal court unless they were there for, say, an alleged violation of their constitutionally protected rights. Moving on, I want to touch briefly on torts. Just as background, tort law represents a body of law that exists to provide legal recourse for private parties who believe they've been wronged by another private party. Unlike criminal law, which is covered by, say, a penal code, in that the parties are the state and the alleged perpetrator. But in tort law, the parties are two private individuals or entities. Of course, for nursing, our biggest concern is negligence, which can arise to medical malpractice. Take time to review the elements of a tort laid out by Guido, and she does a pretty good job of basically explaining what the 6 elements of a tort are. Now, to be successful in a malpractice lawsuit, the plaintiff who is bringing the lawsuit has to prove all 6 elements, which would be duty, breach, foreseeability, causation, injury, and damages. And again, Guido does a good job of laying out what each of those elements are. But please, if you have questions, feel free to send me an email and we can set up a time to talk, or maybe I can answer your question over the email. Also, take a look at Guido's coverage on intentional torts, because those do come into play in the patient care setting, such as assault and battery. I remember years ago I had a nursing student approach me in the clinical setting, and it seemed that her rather ornery elderly patient did not want to take a bath, and the nurse's aides were lining up to forcefully take him into the showers and give the man a bath. And I must admit, he was quite fragrant, but he was also in possession of his faculties. And so had they gone in and done this, they would have committed certainly battery and possibly assault. So intentional torts do occur in the patient care setting, and it's good to have an idea of what those intentional torts could be. Finally, let's briefly review standards of care. What is important for you to know is that standards of care, while not laws, excuse me, my dog's with me, so you might hear some noises from him. Standards of care, while not laws, are very helpful in determining if there's been a breach in the standard of care, both in tort cases as well as in disciplinary cases before the Board of Nursing. External standards of care can be found in the rules of the State Board of Nursing or written by professional associations, and also found in published nursing literature. Internal standards of care can be those standards written for a particular practice setting, such as a clinic's job descriptions or a hospital's policies and procedures. Class, that wraps it up for Module A. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. We can either speak by phone or I might be able to answer your questions through the email. Again, let me reinforce, if you believe that you are going to need some extra time to finish an assignment in Module A, just let me know. I don't need to know the reason why. This is your education, but I do appreciate a heads up that you are going to be delayed. If you are fearing that you might miss a quiz, I cannot extend the quiz deadline for you, but I can certainly give you a short answer quiz to replace the multiple choice that you might miss because of some other conflicts. So I look forward to working with you in this course, and I hope you have a wonderful day.